Dear Mr. Spooky Dooky, I hope this email finds you well, but after what I experienced, I can't shake the feeling of dread that's been clinging to me like a shroud. You see, I had an encounter that I believe defies all logic and reason. An encounter that has left me questioning the very fabric of reality itself. It was a night like any other. The air was thick with an eerie stillness, and the moon hung low in the sky, casting long shadows that seemed to dance in the dim light. I was driving along a desolate stretch of road, surrounded by dense woods that whispered secrets I dared not listen to. As I rounded a bend, my headlights caught something that made my blood run cold. Two figures stood at the edge of the road, their silhouettes stark against the darkness. I slowed to a stop, my heart pounding in my chest as I tried to make sense of what I was seeing. The figures were children, or at least they appeared to be. But there was something unmistakably wrong about them. Their skin was as pale as the moonlight, and their eyes were a deep, soulless void, black as the darkest abyss. I felt a chill creep up my spine as the children approached my car, their movements slow and deliberate. Instinctively, I reached for the door lock, my hands trembling, as I tried to rationalize what was happening. But deep down, I knew there was no rational explanation for what I was seeing. As they drew closer, I could see that their clothes were old and tattered, as if they hadn't been changed in years. And their faces were twisted into sinister grins that sent shivers down my spine. I wanted to drive away to escape this nightmare that had suddenly become my reality, but something held me in place, as if I were paralyzed by fear itself. And then, as if on cue, one of the children spoke. "Please," they whispered, their voices hollow and devoid of emotion. "We need to get home. Can you give us a ride?" Every instinct in my body screamed at me to flee, to leave these unholy creatures behind and never look back. But despite my terror, a small voice inside me urged me to help them, to show them compassion in their time of need. With trembling hands, I reached for the door handle, my heart pounding in my chest as I prepared to invite them into my car. But just as my fingers brushed against the cold metal, something inside me snapped. In that moment of clarity, I realized the truth. These children were not what they seemed. They were something far more sinister, something that preyed on the innocence of those who dared to let them in. With a strength I didn't know I possessed, I slammed my foot down on the gas pedal, the tires screeching as I peeled away from the roadside nightmare that threatened to consume me. And as I sped into the night, I could feel their malevolent gaze burning into my soul, their whispered pleas echoing in my mind. To this day, I cannot shake the feeling that I narrowly escaped something unspeakable that night, something that defies all rational explanation. And though I pray that I will never encounter the black-eyed children again, a part of me knows that they will always be out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting to ensnare their next unsuspecting victim. Yours in terror, Charlie Billings.